Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is the 2022 Mexican Grand Prix. If you are new to the channel, if you are a Formula 1 fan, then please do get yourself subscribed because I'm live every single qualifying and every single Grand Prix from the Formula 1 World Championship. This is round 20 of 22. Martin Brundle's on the grid. It's lights out in about half an hour's time. I'm going to go through a little bit of a preview. She's looking extravagant on the grid. Yeah, welcoming Chris, Ernesto. Let me just turn down the music a little bit. How are we doing, guys? I'm going to... is there any way I can minimise that poll? Because that's taking up the entire... I can only close it now. We'll keep it on for a little bit, even though I can't see what's going on in the chat because the whole blue thing is covered. But yeah, the question in the poll, who's going to lead into Turn 1? And this is... a good question. Why? Because this is the longest run down to Turn 1 of the entire season. So slipstreams, we've seen 3 wide into Turn 1 in Mexico before. We've seen 4 wide. So what we're going to get this year? We've got Verstappen on pole, Russell and Hamilton right behind him, Perez as well, and his home race starting from P4. He might lead into Turn 1. That's what he'd be hoping for anyway, as Brundle is queuing up for an interview with Esteban Ocon. But yeah, we're going to go through a little bit of a preview. Obviously, race starts 8 PM, but we've got a couple of things lined up. We'll go through results of the season. This is the starting grid, by the way, the starting grid for the race. So it is, yeah, Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton, Perez, Sainz, Bottas, Leclerc, Norris, Alonso, Ocon, Ricciardo, Zhou, Tsunoda, Gasly, Schumacher, Vettel, Albon, Latifi, and Magnussen and Stroll 19th and 20th because they've got grid penalties for various reasons. Let me turn this down a bit. Yeah, we don't need the music on like that much, do we? No, that much I'll do. But yeah, Chris and Ernesto welcoming, guys. Right, let's go through a bit of a rundown of the teams and their results so far this season. Where will that be? That will be here. Right, let's go. So, if you've not seen the little previews that I do before, what we do is we go through the teams from back to front, from the back of the grid right to the to Verstappen at the front, and see what the results have been, and have a little bit of a chat for 10-15 minutes about the performance of the team so far. So, as we start with every week, it is Williams with just 8 points, 10th out of the 10 teams in Formula 1. 8 points, 4 of them scored by Albon, 2 by Latifi, and 2 by Nick de Vries, who did the Italian Grand Prix at Monza in place of an ill Alexander Albon, and got 2 points. So Williams with a total of 8. 8 points as Martin Brundle scrambles around on a busy Mexican Grand Prix grid. Been a lot of controversy with Sky recently, haven't they? With Ted Kravitz saying that say what all the fans are basically saying, which is Verstappen robbed, or should I say, Hamilton was robbed of the 2021 championship. But you know. So Verstappen refusing to have any interviews with Sky this weekend, so a bit of controversy there. But yeah, anyway, let's get to it. I'm well, Ernesto. How are you? Oh wait, if I vote, then that'll minimise it. I'm gonna say, I'll say Hamilton leads into Turn 1. Oh, I cannot do it. I can't vote on my own poll. Wait a minute. I will vote on my own poll because that might minimise it. Yeah. I'll have to do it in a bit. Let's have a look. Right, let's have a vote. Where's the vote? It's not even there, man. Nah, can't get rid of it. Unless I just close it. Here's what it is. Anyway, Ryan's in. Welcoming Ryan. Martin Ross, welcome to the stream. Anto's in as well. Yeah, so we've said about Williams. They are 10th and last. Can they get any points today? I can't remember where they line up on the grid. I think it's probably like, with the grid penalties, they probably line up about, what was it, 16th and 18th or something like that for Williams. So they've struggled to get some points here. Look at the flipping sending cold air into the brakes and into the side ducts of that McLaren there on the grid. But yeah, AlphaTauri, 9th in constructors, and Pierre Gasly is leaving the team at the end of this season. So the lineup for AlphaTauri for 2023 will be your man Yuki Tsunoda and Nick De Vries, who's performed very well for Williams at the Italian Grand Prix, and finally gets his chance in Formula 1. But they've not done well this season. You know, I'd probably say it in every single preview that I do. Let me just trim that down a little bit there, so we don't get as much green flashing background. But yeah, AlphaTauri, not been a good year. They'll be looking to bounce back next year. What if they got 35 points? Tsunoda with the P10 last time out, so at least he got back on the board, because he hadn't scored points since when? Spain? I mean, if you look at Tsunoda's results since Spain, he's not had a single point. So fair play, Tsunoda back in the points last time out in the US. And Pierre Gasly 14th in the championship with 23 points. He's not had the best year of his career, Pierre Gasly, but gets the big move to Alpine next season. Haas 8th in constructors. Yeah, all right, Anto. I was out on the drink since Thursday. Oh my God, you go heavy. We have welcoming Ryan Tuna, if I haven't already said that. Drop a like for Max to win tonight. He's won enough races this season, Martin. Give someone else a go. You know, give Lewis a go. Give George a go. I'd love to see Sergio win this race. Look at the gills on the Alpine. Martin just on the grid here. And look at I tell you what, they've really opened the side of that Alpine since the beginning of the season. Flipping. What do they call them? The louvers or whatever. The gills. It's like basically half the side pod missing. There's that many gills in the side of that. Does anyone think they're going to be more of a contender next season? I definitely think they'll be big contenders next season. I think they'll bounce back. I think with Red Bull having less time in the wind tunnel, Mercedes having more time in the wind tunnel, Mercedes learning from the aerodynamic mistakes they've made, I think they'll ditch this jelly mold side pod concept, and I think Mercedes will be on it next season. Well, I hope they are anyway, and we can have a proper championship battle. Hopefully Ferrari can sort themselves out as well. That's more of it on a management side, on a strategy side, on a reliability side, because they built a quick car this season, did Ferrari, but it didn't pay off for them, as Red Bull have ran away with it. But yeah, that's Haas, 36 points. I mean, Magnussen with the P9 in the US last time out, which is a great result. Mick needs points today. Mick needs points. His career hangs in the balance. It's 20 minutes to lights out, by the way. 20 minutes until the start of the race. But yeah, Martin on the grid. So yeah, that's Haas in P8. Mick's career on the absolute knife edge of will he be in Formula 1 next season. He needs points in these last 3 races, and I hope he can do it today. Aston Martin then are P7, but right on the tail of Alfa Romeo. Now Aston Martin 7th with 49 points. Yeah, 3-horse race would be a game changer, Caden. Martin Garrix on the grid. DJ Garrix. Anyway, yeah, Aston Martin P7, but they've come on strong. I mean, look at the last three races for Vettel: 8th Singapore, 6th Japan, 8th USA. Sebastian Vettel, I think he's retired a year or two too soon. He's still got it as Seb, and you know, he's still only about 35, 36. But obviously, he's got other pursuits, other goals outside the world of Formula 1. And Seb hangs up his boots after these last 3 races, and he's gone, and to be replaced by a man that's 5 years older than him, which is kind of a cruel irony. He's retiring at 35, being replaced by a 40-year-old Fernando Alonso. Makes you think, could you have gone a bit longer, Seb? But yeah, I don't know. They've had a shocking qualifying as well. Stroll with the grid penalty. I think he starts virtually at the back. I think Stroll starts 20th on the grid. And Vettel was terrible in qualifying as well. The car was horrible. I think neither of them are in, you know, the way down there. I think Vettel is like 16th on the grid or something. So yeah, sad to see him go, man. Yeah, It will be. But yeah, Aston Martin now hot on the tail of Alfa Romeo, who had a great start to the season, this team, but dropped off massively since what, Canadian Grand Prix, British Grand Prix. How many points have they scored since the British Grand Prix? One? Crazy. Absolutely ridiculous. They scored 51 of their 52 point total in the first 9 races of the season. And we're on round 20. So, but Valtteri Bottas, with a great performance in qualifying yesterday, great pace, and I think starts in the top 6, does Bottas in this one. He's 6th or 7th, something like that. So, amazing. I think he even split the Ferraris. I don't know if Leclerc got a lap time deleted or something like that, but Valtteri Bottas right at the sharp end. Can he lead into turn 1? Oh, I'd imagine the scenes. But yeah, Bottas looking to score points, because the second half of the season for Bottas has been grim. Will.i.am on the grid as well. All the celebs are there. Right. Next up, McLaren. P5 in Constructors, 138 points for them. I had to go back and change all these results as well, because Fernando Alonso got disqualified and then he got his P7 reinstated again. So he was cancelled and then he was reinstated. I had to change all these stats and everything. I've had to do it all twice, which has been a bit of a pain. But yeah, Lando Norris, he's had a good season. 109 points, 7th in the championship. He's got the most out of the car he's been given. Daniel, it's been a season from hell, and he won't be on the grid in 2023. Will he be on the grid in 24? I'd say odds are against it. You know, bookies wouldn't back it, but it's not impossible that Ricciardo can come back in 24. I just don't see it. But this is the biggest differential in teammates on the entire grid. Lando Norris, 109 points. Ricciardo, 90 points less. That's crazy. 29 points for the Aussie. And if you just got to look at the results, especially this second half, the strip that represents the second half of the season there. Look at Lando, 7th, then 12th, another back-to-back 7th in Netherlands and Italy, then 4th, 10th, 6th. He's in the points every week. Danny Rick isn't in the points every week. And in fact, my ruthless opinion about this is that Ricciardo should have been dropped now. If I was in charge at McLaren, I'd pay him off now and have Piastri in the car for the last 2 or 3 races this season to get him that experience, because I feel like Daniel's signed off. Although, having said that, I think Daniel is about 11th on the grid. 10th or 11th on the grid, so you never know. Ricciardo could get some points today. I will welcome to the stream. Danny Rick's gone, his time's up. Unfortunately, I think it is time up for him. Yeah, I don't think we'll see him. No, I mean, there's an outside chance, Alonso came back, Raikkonen came back, but they were world champions, so difficult. I think they're playing the Mexican national anthem, which, by the way, is an extremely shortened version of the Mexican national anthem, because the Mexican national anthem is very, very long. I'm talking 10 minutes, 15 minutes long. So they just play a little segment of it, just a bit of a tidbit information there. The Mexican national anthem, probably the longest in the world. Right, anyway, McLaren, we've done that. Alpine, P4, and pulling away from McLaren now in the Constructors' Championship. I back Alpine to get that P4. As there is, oh wow, it's made out of paper. There's it's the bird that's on the flag. But yeah, I'm being distracted by the goings on the grid right now because they've unfolded some great big mass. I look at Max with his little cool pack on, with his little looks like a bullet vest. It looks like just of ice to keep him cool. Race starts in 15 minutes, by the way, guys. 15 minutes to go. Outclassed by Norris. Cheers, Nitai. No worries, mate. They play Mexican jumping bean song. Imagine. Or the Imagine play the Mexican hat dance on the podium. That'd be probably someone would find that offensive, wouldn't they, if they did that? Do you know what I mean? Are you taking us seriously or what? Good win for United. I didn't even watch it. I was sorting out this. I was sorting out what you're looking at right now. I wasn't watching United. I couldn't give a damn, to be honest. Alonso, amazing. 41, man. Anyway, that's Alpine. They've had a great season of Alpine. And maybe they'll kick on next season with the two French drivers. It'll be Ocon and Gasly next year. What can they do? There we go. That's a big head-to-head for 2023. But yeah, they should secure P4 in the championship and the money that comes with that. Mercedes P3 in the championship, pretty much confirmed as P3 now, aren't they, Mercedes? They had a good go at Ferrari, though. You know, at some points of the season, you know, Mercedes were pretty close behind Ferrari in constructors, but with Ferrari, with those last 2-3 races, have you know, been consistently getting podiums again. And yeah, Mercedes P3 in the constructors championship. This is the first time they've not won it since 2013. So yeah, Red Bull have now taken the flame from Mercedes, taken the trophy, and you know, but Mercedes haven't had a great car this season, but they've made the absolute most of it. George Russell's been fantastic. The last couple of races he's not been as good. And people, do you know what surprises me about George Russell is? To me, he's had a phenomenal season. Then he's made a couple of mistakes in the last 2-3 races, and now everyone's like taking a piss online. Like, oh, you see on Twitter, it's like, oh, George Russell's going to crash again, turn one. Like, how has someone got a reputation for crashing on the basis of like 2 mistakes in 20 races, or like 2 mistakes in the last, like, you know, like, it's crazy how flippant people are. You know, they forget that he's been like top 5 in every single race up until a couple of weeks ago. They forget that because he has one mistake and then it's George Russell crashes all the time. No, he doesn't. Like, watch him crash now, turn 1. Watch him hit Verstappen turn 1 now. No, but I feel like his reputation's been tarnished on the back of virtually nothing. But anyway, that's what F1 Twitter is. It's a madness out there. Yeah, Will Gasly in next year. Good season for Ocon. Oh, Ocon v Gasly next year will be really good. Caden, I think he's the same 40. Yeah, he's still got it, never lose it when you're in your 40s. I think Lewis will still be going in his 40s at this rate. Max could get 14th win, yes. And if he does do that, Anto, he'll break the record for most wins in a season. That stat is a bit... it's not that relevant. It is relevant, like it's a fantastic achievement, but there's more races in a season now than there was in Michael's day. So, you know, Michael Schumacher winning 13 races in a season, well, he probably only had 16 races. So that stat is a little bit obscured. But there is no doubt about it. Max Verstappen has absolutely dominated the field. Ferrari, Mercedes, level, yeah. Russell, really good, man, yeah. Just fit straight into the Mercedes. He did, you know. He fit straight in. He'd probably beat Lewis in the championship. I mean, look at the points. Russell is, 20 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton with 3 races to go. Russell might beat Lewis, which is F1 Twitter's a different realm, Will, isn't it? It's a madness. Anyway, that's Mercedes. They've had a good season with the equipment they've got, but they'll be looking to come back fighting next season, and I can't wait for it. I think Lewis next season will come back with a vengeance. If the car is decent, Lewis will be like bit between his teeth, absolutely going for it. P2 in the championship with 3 rounds to go, and we'll probably finish P2, is Ferrari. Do you know what? Actually, they've picked it up again. They had an absolute nightmare mid-season, didn't they, Ferrari? The middle part of the season for Ferrari was they were either on, literally the car was on fire, or breakdowns, or someone putting it in the wall, or spinning. I mean, Sainz still with the bad luck in US being hit in turn 1, you know. So it's never a smooth weekend, is it, for Ferrari? It seems. But do you know what? It's been a little bit less embarrassing the second half of the season for them, despite Sainz with the double DNF, Japan and US. Crazy. But Leclerc is back on the podium. Look at that. He's had Wow, he's at 5 podiums in a row then. Third, second, third. I didn't even realise that. Yeah, Leclerc with 5 podiums in a row. So he's ending the season strong, you know. Can he win from... I think, actually, Leclerc starts 7th today. So if Leclerc wins from there, it'd be a mega job. Even to get on the podium from there would be a great race. Ferrari a little bit on the back foot today. Well, yesterday, I mean. They weren't lightning quick in qualifying as they have been all season. You know, Ferrari have taken pole position at a lot of races this year, but not this weekend. They'll have a job to win this one, and they'll have a job to beat the newly crowned double world champion with all these controversies and all the rest of it. But he is the double world champion. It's Max Verstappen. He's already wrapped up the championship, as you can see, in gold, and Red Bull have wrapped it up. 656 points. It might be more than Mercedes ever got in a season. Red Bull didn't have many DNFs. Well, you can see it right there. They had a few, especially in the beginning of the season. Max DNF 2 out of the first 3, and I was thinking, this is Charlie's year. This is Charles Leclerc's season. Perez has had a few DNFs. Man, you were all in the first half of the season, though. Like I say, second half of the season, Ferrari and Red Bull have got the reliability together, and this sort of... yeah, they've pulled it together. But yeah, can Perez win at home? I'd love to see it. Max will probably win this race. That's correct. Yeah, Mexico, Brazil, Abu Dhabi. That's it, with 3 to go, including this one that starts in about 6 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this little preview up because we're going to get rid of the chair. We're going to go full commentary mode in a sec, ready for the start of the race. So I will just quickly whip through my predictions for this race. So I am saying, this is what I'm predicting for today's Mexico City Grand Prix. I'm going Mick Schumacher P10 because he needs it. He's desperate for it, and he's trying to save his Formula 1 career. I'm going Valtteri Bottas P9. I'm saying Esteban Ocon sweeps up a P8. I'm going Lando Norris P7. I'll go Fernando Alonso, 40 years old. He might even be 41. I'm going for him to pick up a P6, pick up a penguin, pick up a P6. I've gone Carlos Sainz P5. I've gone Leclerc P4. I have gone George Russell in the Mercedes to get a podium today. I've gone Perez at his home race to get P2, close but no cigar. And then I've gone Lewis Hamilton the win. Where's Max Verstappen? Well, I predict Max Verstappen to get hit in the first lap and fail to finish. DNF Max Verstappen, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because predicting him to win is... too easy. So we'll predict. The thing is, in Formula 1, the fortunes ebb and flow. So he's had it too good for too long. He's won 13 races this season. It's all gone smooth. And just when you start to relax, boom, something happens. I'm saying Lewis wins it and Perez second. But we'll see. It'll probably be a Max victory, but you know it is. It's Madman predictions. So there we go. Right, let's get back over to this. Let's get the live timings on. Let's refresh this. Let's get ready for the race because we're almost time. Right, that's on a refresh. That's like that. Right, I'm going to change my setup now. Here we go. We're race ready as they play the intro. Right, let me unplug this. Is it? Yep, 8 PM UK time. Starts in 5 minutes. Right, we're going... chair, forget it. Here we go. Commentary time. Boom, camera up here. Right, what are we saying about that? Something like that. Something like that. What are we saying? Oh, the background loves it. Yeah, flashing green and everything. Right, let me put that down there. Let me get the live timings up. Right, now we're on it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Bang. Bada bing, bada boom. Right, that should be on. Live timings on. I'm on. Oh my god, what the hell is going around the circuit? It's been like a Mexican circus going on. Like Day of the Dead and all that. Right, we're going to get a rundown of the grid. Let me get my get the headphones on. We're in full Grand Prix commentary mode now. Yeah, we've stepped it up again now. Preview done. Preview done. Game on. Yeah, that's alright, isn't it? That looks alright there, my lad. Let me just make sure that that's like that. Yeah, good one, good one, good one. Right, we're seeing highlights of previous Mexican Grand Prix, or Mexico City Grand Prix, it likes to be called. Right, that should be there. Hopefully you can hear me. UK time, yeah. So you've been there in the pic, the background. Yeah, man, I have sat there, virtually where I'm stood right now. Yeah, this was literally, I was literally in this spot 6 or 7 years ago now. Yeah, quite a while ago. Back when I used to be skinny. Was that? Yeah, right, we're right. Oh, they're playing the... oh, I didn't mean to grab that. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Good stuff, man. Yeah. Okay, so it's Stroll, Magnussen at the back then. Latifi, Albon 17th, Vettel 16th. Mick Schumacher lines up 15th on the grid. It's Pierre Gasly 14th. Yuki Tsunoda 13th. Both AlphaTauris on the 7th row of the grid. Then it's Zhou Guanyu P12. Daniel Ricciardo P11 for McLaren. Then it's the two Alpines of Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso 10th and 9th on the grid. So we've got the battle for P4 in constructors start 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th. Lando Norris P8, Charles Leclerc P7. Valtteri Bottas splits the Ferraris in P6. Carlos Sainz will start the Mexican Grand Prix from P5. It's P4 for home man Sergio Perez. It's Lewis Hamilton 3rd. George Russell on the front row with Max Verstappen on pole position. Let's go. Might be contact with corner 1. Yeah, damn right. No, Haas haven't made any announcements yet. I'm hoping and praying Mick Schumacher can get some points today. And think about this as well. It's the longest run of the entire year down to turn 1. Oh, mate, buzzing. We're about to start the formation lap then. Do you know, the thing is, down into turn 1, you get the slipstream, Perez can lead into turn 1. The thing is, right, Verstappen might have to block Russell immediately. I see a scenario where Verstappen covers Russell straight away. That gives Lewis the outside line. We could be in a scenario. Oh, and then there's Perez going to come into it. Oh, mate, this could be absolute carnage in turn 1. Will they all get through turn 1 cleanly? We've seen drivers run wide and stuff like that. We saw 1 year Lewis go right across the grass at turn 1 and entirely cut the first 2 corners. Oh, look at them all. Brand shiny, spanking new tyres there. What a beautiful sight. 20 Formula 1 cars on the grid with brand new soft tyres on. And mediums as well. Some people are on the mediums. Right, we're on the formation lap. Here we go. Mick, last comment. I hope Mick gets some points today because his career hangs in the balance. Oh, guys, right, we're on the formation lap. Please do drop me a like if you are new to the stream, if you are a Formula 1 fan. Live every single race, every single qualifying. I may even do every single practice session as well. I don't know how we get through them, but we do. But now it is race time. Let's go. Perez 4th. I tell you what, Perez 4th, if he gets it right, gets in the slipstream and fancies a dive bomb, hold on to your hats. Oh, mate. The nerves are kicking in now. We are fully... yeah, come on, Lewis. Come on, George. Yes. What can they do? Hey, they've got to be careful they don't crash into each other, though. They've got to be careful on a teammate one. I just wonder if Max and Sergio are going to have a bit of a teamwork going on here against Mercedes. I wonder if Max has said to Sergio, listen, if I block Lewis, you slipstream George. You know what I mean? They might full team up. Anyway, we'll see. We're lining up on the grid any second now. Evening, Simon. Welcome in. Oh, I can see there, GB. I assume that's the Union Jack flag, which is not showing up for me. A bit nervous. I'm fully nervous. Come on, Max, says Martin. Martin, big Max Verstappen fan. You've had enough joy. Anyway, he's won 13 races. I say give someone else a go. I'd love to see Sergio win it. I'd love to see Lewis win this race after not winning a race so far. I'd love to see George win it. Or can we have something crazy happen and a Ferrari wins? Oh, Valtteri Bottas from P6, can he win it? Nah. But, you know, stranger things have happened. Maldonado won a race once. Oh, here we go then. We're lining up on the grid. Right, I'm gonna put the microphone away from me because bro, if you're wearing headphones, this is a warning. Right, here we go. Here we go then. Here we go then. The lights are coming on. It's 3, 2, 1. And the Mexico City Grand Prix is underway. It looks like a decent start for Verstappen, and he does cover off George Russell straight away. Here comes Lewis then. They're all in a row. Here comes Perez then dipping out. They're all in a line. It's like something like NASCAR. But here comes George Russell then on the right. It's going to be Russell and Verstappen side by side. The slipstream didn't work. Perez trying it around the outside of Hamilton, but Hamilton now's got the advantage, and Hamilton takes P2 from George Russell. The Mercedes going to be side by side. So it's Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez versus Russell going into turn 4 then. Go on then, Sergio, at your home race, going round the outside of George Russell in the Mercedes. The two Ferraris are back there. They're fighting George Russell as well, but Perez is through then. Perez into P3, so it's Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Russell, and the two Ferraris go side by side into turn 6. Then we've got the two Alpines. Oh, Max is absolutely he's romping away already at the front. Verstappen's had a perfect start, despite all the run down to turn 1, all the slipstream and all the rest of it. It's still Verstappen who leads into, as we end this first lap now, we're into the stadium section at the end of the lap. So it's Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Russell. Then the two Ferraris, Sainz ahead of Leclerc it is. So Sainz P5, Leclerc, then Alonso 7th. Bottas 8th, Ocon 9th, Lando Norris dropped from 7th to 10th. Woohoo, let's go. And that's how we do the first lap. Find another channel that does that on the first lap. It doesn't exist. What a start. Jeez. Oh, it's jumped out of your skin. Kim, it's lap 1 in a race. This is what we do. Get in. Oh, exactly. Caden. Give it 3 or 4 years and someone will find me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Here we are then on board with Valtteri Bottas into turn 4. He's right behind Fernando Alonso then. So they're battling for P7. It's Alonso v Bottas for 7th. So Bottas has dropped a couple of positions. Then he's dropped behind Leclerc and Alonso. Alonso up from, what, 9th to 7th? Ocon up from, I think, 11th to 9th. And Norris is the big loser in the start. I think Norris has dropped 3 positions. Then it's Tsunoda, Zhou. Ricciardo's also dropped a couple of places. So not a great start from McLaren. A nice start from the two Alpines in that little battle for P4. The Aston Martins are up 14th and 15th. Not great from Mick Schumacher, who's also lost a couple of positions. So we've got to look at the tyre compounds as well now. So it's Verstappen and Perez. You see, I didn't watch the build-up, so I didn't even realise what tyre everyone's on. But it's the two Red Bulls are on the soft tyre, the two Mercedes on the medium, Ferrari also on the soft tyre as well. So it's Ferrari and Red Bull on softs, Mercedes on mediums, as well as most of the field are on medium tyres, really, except for the people that want to go aggressive early on in the race. Changed onto your phone. I hope it's just lagging at your end and it's not me lagging. Let me know. I mean, it's not a lot. If it's lagging, it's lagging, and it is what it is. But I hope it's not lagging for everybody. But yeah, you're on your phone. Alonso, good start. Alonso always had a good start. Look at that. So we see a replay of the start now, and they're all in a line. You know, it's like they're all in each other's slipstream in a straight line, single file. It was down into turn one, which is, and then Lewis kind of shoves George Russell wide on the exit of turn three, and then Sergio Perez went side by side with Russell to turn four, went round the outside of him. So it is Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, top three. Here we are, the replay on board with Lewis Hamilton then. Oh, it's a nice start as well, but everyone gets a good start. It's a good start from anyone, and Russell straight behind Verstappen, and then Hamilton tucks in as well. Yeah, and they're all just in a... And then Russell pulls out. He thinks about looking towards down the inside of Max Verstappen, but can't do it. But then Hamilton's got the high ground. They all go a bit deep in turn one and two. Lewis gets the nice high ground and pushes his teammate wide on the exit of turn three. And Lewis up from third to second then. Hello, Keith. Welcome to the stream. You join us on, I think it's about lap 3 of the Mexico City Grand Prix. So you missed the start, but maybe that's the plan, because at the start, I'm on a shouting one. You missed the most exciting part of the stream, Keith. No, it is what it is, isn't it? You won't lose any sleep over it. But yeah, George Russell... Yeah, they all go deep. So Verstappen and Russell were deep in turn one. And then look at this on board from Sergio Perez. And, you know, he gets done by Hamilton on the inside. But then Russell's out of position. And then that's when he can get the slipstream and go round the outside of turn four. Nice start from Sergio. Up from fourth to third at his home race. I think there's something like 300,000 people cheering him on, Sergio Perez. It's a lot of pressure, but it's also... a lot of glory if you manage to win the race. Yes, Keith, we're on fire, bro. This is starting grid, and all this data behind me. Oh, wait a minute, it's not even on the screen, is it? Oh my god, oh my god. I apologise. The whole thing wasn't even on the screen. Wow. Apologies for that. I'm glad someone said something, because it wouldn't have updated for the entire stream. Anyway, this is the positions and all the data and what tyre they're on and all the rest of it. And then that across the bottom was the starting grid, which I could get rid of if really, but it is what it is. Anyway, Bottas is right behind Fernando Alonso now for P7. Here he comes then, he fancies it into turn 4. Alonso goes defensive, and there's some weird video game graphic on the screen which I can't stand. Why are they putting a box around the wheels of the cars like it's on a video game? What's that about? But yeah, lap 5 out of 71 that we are on. It's Verstappen who leads Hamilton by 1.2 seconds. They're 2.6 ahead of Perez, who's another 2 seconds ahead of Russell. See, the thing is, Fernando and most people are on the mediums. But the Ferraris have gone aggressive. Ferrari and Red Bull have gone aggressive, really, on the soft. See, they better hope they're quick now. I mean, the fact that the Sainz and Leclerc aren't catching Mercedes is a bit concerning for them, considering they're on the soft tyre and Russell on the mediums. But Mercedes have looked very quick all weekend. As we go on board Valtteri Bottas into turn 1. And this is playing the long game. Yeah, also, yeah, the thing is, Perez in P3, he's got to be hoping he can catch Lewis. He's, what is he, just over a second, I think, Perez. The gap between Hamilton and Perez for P2 is about 1.4 seconds. So we need to get it under a second. DRS is now activated, so if you're within a second of the car in front, and there's 2 DRS zones here in Mexico. You've got the obviously the start-finish straight, and then from turn 3 to turn 4 is also a DRS zone. Yeah, Or do they get DRS down to turn... Oh, they get DRS... Is it 3? They get DRS down to turn 13 as well. Is there 3 DRS zones? Maybe there's 3. Should be a quiz question. Name the driver who was last most races. Yeah, I mean, are you counting DNFs though? Or are you just counting, you finish the race last on... you're the last finisher of the race. Because if you're counting DNFs, there's been a few DNFs this year. So Latifi's not really had that many DNFs. He's just been a bit slow. But yeah, Latifi's at the back on the soft tyres. Come on, Nicky. Where's Mick? Mick's 17th as Latifi overtakes Magnussen then for P19. But yeah, we're watching Daniel Ricciardo versus Zhou Guanyu into turn 4. This is the battle for P12. He's going to switch back on the Alfa Romeo, but doesn't get the job done yet. Is he going to dive into turn 6? Go on then, Daniel. No, doesn't fancy it. And Zhou Guanyu hangs on to P12 for now. And Sebastian Vettel looking at this battle as well. So we have got a 3-way fight for P12. It's Zhou, Ricciardo, Vettel. Nose to tail through the middle section then on lap 7 of 71. Softs, how long do they go off? Well, this is it, Anto. This is the big... This starts to become a relevant question very soon. How long are the soft tyres going to last? I don't know the answer to that. But I'll have a safe bet and say the mediums will last longer. No, I don't know if I don't know if this is going to be a 2-stop race. I imagine they'll be trying to do 1 stop. Can you go soft medium, or maybe they go soft hard and try and 1-stop it? Or are they going to totally swerve the hard? Here comes Daniel Ricciardo against Zhou Guanyu. And also, is that Pierre Gasly looking at the back of Lance Stroll for 15th as well? So the battle is all in the midfield at the moment. And the gaps out in front, that sort of seem to be separated by a couple of seconds, the top 6 within each other. So, yeah, Zhou versus Ricciardo is the biggest battle on circuit at the moment. Come on, Danny. Let's get some points to round off your season and your career in Formula 1. Not doing good. Haas, yeah, Haas aren't doing good at all. I'm there with a Haas cap. And we're 17th and 20th. Come on, Haas. You know, someone said to me once in a stream, oh, you're British bias. I said, my favourite team is American and my favourite driver's German. So... stick that in your pipe. No, I'm pretty neutral really, apart from Mick Schumacher. The rest of them, I don't mind who wins. But it's looking like Verstappen at the moment on lap 9, who leads Hamilton by 1.7 seconds. Danny Rick's got a good slipstream here, DRS. Surely going to get the job done into turn 1, and does. Ricciardo up to P12 then. Ricciardo takes P12 off Zhou Guanyu into turn 1 on lap 9. Come on then, let's get you back in the points. Let's get you back in the points, Daniel. He's having to defend into turn 4, he is. Alfa Romeo don't actually look too bad this weekend. They've had a shocking second half of the season, but they actually look decent. Despite him being overtaken, we've still got Bottas up there, and I think he's in 8th. I think Bottas is still 8th, so he's on for some points. Desperately needs some points, does Valtteri Bottas. Don't think he's scored anything since Canada. As Gasly and Stroll bang wheels into turn 1. We're just seeing a replay of that. Gasly trying to go around the outside of Stroll. Doesn't work, but it's aggressive enough anyway. And yeah, sidewall to sidewall tyre, so no damage caused, and they can race on. It's all fair and square, although it was a bit closer come for that one. And so it's Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, all separated by about 1.5 seconds. Then it's George Russell in P4. And they've dropped Ferrari, even though Ferrari are on the soft side. It's not Ferrari's day, is it, this? It's not, Ferrari haven't got the pace. Russell's dropped Sainz by 5 seconds. So, it's not going to be Ferrari's day in Mexico. They sit 5th and 6th and are not making any progress despite being on the faster tyre. Then comes Alonso P7 in the Alpine, looking to get another. I think he finished 7th in the last 2 races as well. So Alonso looking at 3 P7s in a row, which is great points for the team if you can manage to do that. Like I was saying, Bottas up there in P8, not scored since Canada, some 10, 11 races ago. He's had a fair old amount of DNF since then, as Valtteri Bottas. So he'll be looking to get some points. Got Ocon P9 in the other Alpine, and it's currently Lando Norris 10th. As we cut to on board Valtteri Bottas, who is still behind Fernando Alonso. So yeah, the Alfa Romeo, especially in Bottas's hands, looking pretty decent. But yeah, Kim, welcome. I don't even think I said welcome to the stream, but welcome to the stream, Kim. And Keith as well. And Will's here. Danny Rick, not good. Yeah, started 11th, now 12th. It was 13th, so he dropped a couple of places, made one back up. But I can't see McLaren getting a lot of points today. It's advantage Alpine in that battle, which is the closest battle really in F1. Now with Verstappen wrapping up the championship and Red Bull wrapping up the team's championship, it becomes the attention turns to McLaren versus Alpine for P4 in constructors. Come on, Danny Rick. We can hope and pray. Tsunoda doing well in 11th. Yeah, he's beating Gasly. He is. Gasly down in 16th. Tsunoda in 11th. And Gasly's the one getting the big promotion. Gasly's the one who has been poached and been selected for the Alpine seat for next season. But he's not the best season of his career. I don't know who was saying on the race last week in Austin. I don't know if it's SHT or someone else that said Gasly's had a poor year, and I was like, yeah, it's not been great. But then the car's not been great though. You know what I mean? Just to balance out the argument a bit, you know, he's not had a great car this year, Pierre Gasly, so he's not reaching the heights that he could last season, you know, getting top 6s and top 8s. He's now looking at 16th. Yeah, it seems to be still that they take a lot of curb in turn 2. I noticed this in qualifying as well, and they're still doing it in the race. They're bouncing over the curb in turn 2, which I'm surprised no one's lost the rear end and spun doing that yet. Well, in fact, I think Mick had a problem doing that. He cut the corner too much and had his lap time deleted doing that. Pierre Gasly looking racy behind Lance Stroll. That's the battle for 15th. So Lance Stroll not happy with the car, complaining of sliding, and he's on the medium tyre as well. So is the medium tyre not the one to be on? Not if your name's Lance Stroll, it isn't. Down there, Aston Martin well off the pace this weekend. You know, like I was saying, they've had a great second half of the season, Aston Martin, till this point. But today, yesterday in quali, it was clear that Aston Martin isn't the car to be in this weekend. And there they are now, struggling in 14th and 15th with Pierre Gasly closing into the back of Lance Stroll as they go through the stadium section at the end of lap 13, or the end of lap 12, sorry. Danny Rick had the worst car I've seen. Danny Rick had the worst car I've seen with 2 cars in the team. I don't know what to make of that. Here comes Gasly versus Stroll into turn 1. Gasly trying it round the outside, but Stroll defends it nicely. Now we've got Gasly's on a different line then through turn 2 and 3, trying to get the upper hand. Can he get in the slipstream and try and go around the outside of turn 4? Is he going to go down the inside? Here comes Pierre Gasly then down the inside, locking up a brake. Oh, and pushes Stroll wide. Whoa. No contact though, I don't think, but Gasly has quite rudely pushed Stroll out of the way and said, P15 is mine. Yeah, I think Stroll will be absolutely fuming at that, and he'll probably have to give back the position, will Pierre Gasly. That was a bit too aggressive. I'm all for close racing and aggressive racing, but that might have overstepped the mark. Let's have another look at this. Yeah, nice. Completely ran him out of road. Pierre Gasly's just too rude there. He definitely forced you wide, Lance, yeah. Yeah, Pierre. I think Pierre even steered out of it to kind of go straight to pushing fully off the track so that Stroll didn't have the inside line for turn 5, which is a bit rude. But I tell you something for nothing. Lewis Hamilton's keeping up with Verstappen here. Lewis is looking good because he's on the mediums. Lewis is in the mix here. Lewis is well in the mix here. He's not been dropped by Max Verstappen. We've not been watching it because we've been watching Bottas against Alonso, or we've been watching Ricciardo against Zhou Guanyu. We've not been monitoring the gap, not been seeing anything of it on TV. But now that they cut back to it on lap 14, Hamilton 1.6 behind. Is he closing in? 1.5. Is Hamilton closing in on Max Verstappen? He's certainly keeping up with him. Interesting. Look at K-Mag. Yeah, man, look at K-Mag. What the hell is going on? Haas are having an absolute nightmare of a weekend. Gap is 1.7 between Verstappen and Hamilton. Yeah, Verstappen has had a bit of a hurry up, I think. He's gone a little bit quicker than Lewis. Oh, but could we get Verstappen v Hamilton again, just like we did last week in Austin? Because Lewis looking quick. Perez is 3.3 behind Lewis. Russell 2 seconds behind that. And then Russell 7 seconds ahead of Sainz. It's not a good day for Ferrari, this. As Alexander Albon coming up on the back of Lance Stroll for 16th. And Stroll really is struggling out there. Is Aston Martin the worst car on the grid today? Potentially. It's a toss-up between Aston and Haas, I'd say. For worst car on the grid, it's not looking good. As Alexander Albon got the DRS, has a look down the inside in turn 4, but decides better of it. Stroll keeps 16th for now. Go on, Alex. Let's go. Turn 6. The undercut has to work for Lewis. Yeah. Well, they might be on completely different strategies. We'll have to see what the difference is in durability between the soft and the medium. I don't know if it's game changing. You know, I don't know if the gap is like, can Lewis go another 5 laps or can he go another 20 laps? I don't know. We'll have to see how it all pans out. But Lewis is in a good position. You're in a good position. 1.8 is the gap, so Verstappen's definitely had a bit of a hurry up, or is definitely getting on with it now, because the gap was 1.5. It's now 1.9, so Max is on it. He's on the soft tyres as well. As here comes Alexander Albon into turn 1, right behind Lance Stroll, but not close enough to make a move. Okay. Max Verstappen complaining about the ride quality of the car. Just complaining about bouncing and saying he can't be aggressive. Oh, and Alexander Albon nearly clips the back of Stroll there at turn 5 as they come round the double apex turn 6 now. The Williams chasing the Aston Martin. Go on, Alex. Let's have him. I think if Mick isn't on the grid next season, I'd probably turn my... I'd probably be an Alexander Albon fan. I'd probably be an Albon fan next season. Yeah. Yeah, if Mick's not here, I'd probably be Albon. I'd probably be stood here in a Williams shirt, you know what I mean? Williams cap or something. Albon fan. Yeah, probably, you know, support someone that needs the support. Lewis doesn't need any support. Max doesn't need any support. But Alexander Albon, yeah, rate it. Now, he's a good guy anyway. He's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. But yeah, he's right up behind Lance Stroll again into turn 1, but can't get the move done. They've got this weird video game graphic again on the screen. I don't like that. You know, is this F1 the game, or is this F1 reality? Because putting those graphics on screen, making it like a video game, nah, bro. I know we're trying to attract young fans to this, but come on, man. There's gimmicks, and then there's putting a flipping green line on the screen, like, not for me, that. But yeah, Alex Albon, even in the middle sector now, right behind Lance Stroll's Aston Martin. 5-second penalty for Pierre Gasly for forcing another driver off the circuit. So Gasly gets penalised for pushing Lance Stroll off the circuit in turn 4. Kind of, it's a bit harsh. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it was a bit rude though, wasn't it? Maybe they should have made that decision straight away and got him to give the place back. As Stroll pits then on the end of lap 17. Stroll pits. And he was really struggling on those tyres. Alex was all over the back of him. But Stroll is in then. So what's he going to do? He's on the mediums at the moment. Are you going to whack a set of hards on that? Or what are you going to do? Soft tyres it is for Lance Stroll. Yeah, Gasly, we've seen a replay of the Gasly versus Stroll incident, and Gasly, he can't complain about that. No, he can't. He's pushed him wide purposely. Yeah, there's a limit to it. You've got to give him the space. You can't just shove him off the circuit. You know what I mean? Not Ferrari's day, this. Leclerc asking to consider Plan C. Leclerc P6. You know, 4 seconds behind his teammate and flipping must be 20 seconds off the lead. Ferrari just, you know, Martin Brundle, they're saying in commentary that maybe they've got the engine turned down. He could be right. Could be right on that. Yeah, Ferrari looking at Plan C, which might be like a 2-stop. Where they go, maybe he's thinking, put me on another set of softs, go aggressive. I don't know what Plan C is. They were as far as like Plan E at the Belgian Grand Prix or a couple of races ago. They were like Plan E, Plan F, Plan G. Like, what's going on? Get rid of that line, innit, Anton? Like, what's that green line about? As if we're on a video game. Yes, Ernesto, how we doing, bro? I'm doing all right, me lad. Hope you've had a good weekend. I saw you in Denver's chat before saying the proper 12 flowing like water. I thought he's having a good weekend. Cheers for joining. Lap 20 of 71, the Mexico City Grand Prix. It's not been phenomenal so far. But hopefully it starts hotting up and we start seeing Hamilton close in on Verstappen as we look at Vettel versus Zhou Guanyu for P13. So Sebastian Vettel is making some kind of a progress, but the gap's in front then. So it's Verstappen who now has a 2.2 second lead. He's pulled it out a little bit. It was as low as 1.5 as we cut to Schumacher versus Latifi. And Magnussen P19. Stroll is last, but he's obviously taking a pit stop. Nobody else has, as far as I know. I think Lance Stroll's the only man to pit, and it's definitely a one-stop strategy. This then, it's definitely one stop. If they're still out there on soft tyres, you know, getting to a third race distance on the softs, then it's definitely a one-stop race. Plan H, I know, it might be Plan H, Anto. Yeah, what's going on? That is buzzing, mate. Hope all well. Yeah, it's all good. Hopefully, someone can challenge Max today, though. Flipping it, he's had it too easy for too long. And, yeah. Russell closing up to the back of Sergio Perez for third. And Mercedes got the trump cards here. And Mercedes in the pound seats here. They're on the mediums. They're closing in on the Red Bulls. Is this Mercedes' day? I'm feeling like it might be looking good for Mercedes, this. We've got Lewis 2 seconds behind Max. We've got George a second and a half behind Sergio. And the Red Bulls are on the softer, quicker tyre. That are now going to start to fade. Certainly looking interesting. Lewis doing good. He is, man. He's keeping up. He's keeping up with Max. Yes, Anto. Here we go. Replay with Max Verstappen. Super slow motion replay. Oh, they're looking at the tyre wear. Yeah, Verstappen says tyres are starting to struggle now. So when are they going to start pitting? When are they going to pit these Red Bulls? Lap 22 of 71. Yeah, I think they're going to swerve the hard tyre, to be honest. You know, in Sky commentary box, they're talking about the possibility of a hard tyre, but I think they'll swerve the hard tyres. But the thing is, how long are the Mercs going to go to then whack a set of softs on it, though? Or will Mercedes go medium hard, you know? This is going to be a game of chess, this. I'd prefer it to be an absolute thriller and they're going wheel to wheel every race, but some races are more like a game of chess where it's decided by strategy, and this might be one of those races, unfortunately. But interesting nonetheless if you're anything like a fan like I am. I love it anyway. But yeah, the gap now 1.8, so Lewis is re-catching the back of Verstappen. Left front doesn't want to turn, I'll tell you what. Verstappen starting to struggle on his soft tyres now. I tell you, Mercedes got a good chance here. This is looking good. Verstappen is starting to fade now on these soft tyres. Now it's just a matter of time. When does he pit? Latifi isn't last. Oh no, Latifi's doing an absolute mega job up there in P18. Come on, Sainz. It's not Ferrari's day, Ernesto, unfortunately. This is probably the worst performance-wise that I've seen Ferrari this season. They're well off the pace. As Perez pits then. Sergio Perez pits from third place in the Grand Prix. Stack the Red Bulls. Well, no, they've gone Perez first. But welcome to the stream, Chris. I don't know if you've been in since the beginning, but welcome in. And Perez is on pit exit now. Then he's been overtaken by the Ferraris. He'll come out P6. Yeah, so Perez comes out of the pits P6, first man to blink, and he's gone onto the medium tyres. So he's gone from the soft to the mediums. Will he go to the end on that? That's probably the plan. What will he have to do? We're on lap 24 of 71. So he'll have to do, 45 laps on the mediums? I guess so. I guess that's the plan. Oh, and it was a slow stop. I didn't even catch that. It was a slow stop. The front left tyre just took a couple of seconds extra to get on. So yeah, lost 2 or 3 seconds there in the pits did Sergio Perez. So not great, especially since he's in a battle with George Russell. So that's advantage George Russell, surely. Yes, I've been here all the time. Yeah, no worries. Oh, that's a band too. I haven't even seen it, so. So you're doing a good job if I've not even noticed. Yeah, we feeling better, Chris? And see you on stream again soon. Oh, even though you was on that poker night, weren't you, the other night? Oh, I was absolutely shattered. Me and Jordan on a little poker night the other night. Chris joined the chat room at about 5 AM. I was like, how are you doing, Chris? Mad one. But yeah, lap 25. And the gap's 1.6 now between Verstappen and Hamilton. Mercedes 1-2, I'm calling it now. No, I don't know, you can't rhyme her. Yeah, Max again complaining about these tyres. Surely they box it now, don't they? They've pitted Perez. Are they about to pit Verstappen? Now I'm only joking about the Mercedes 1-2, but you never know. There's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance? I tell you what, there is a chance of Mercedes pulling a madness here today. Is Perez coming in? I mean, Verstappen. Verstappen pits from the lead. All right, so Verstappen's in. This game of chess now develops. The king has been moved. The queen's been moved in this game of chess. Verstappen is in. Set of mediums goes on. Smooth pit stop. 2.5 second pit stop. Decent. Aye, Beretta. Yes, Carl. Yes, Aways. How are we doing, guys? Welcome to the stream. Lewis is closing the gap. I tell you what, Mercedes are in the mix here for the win, as they were last week, but both of them are in the mix here for the win. But it was a nice pit stop from Verstappen, and the Red Bull comes out of the pits in third ahead of Sainz. Right. Target +6. So what was the target? This all depends. What's the pace? How much quicker is Verstappen on these new sets of mediums now? On this new set of mediums compared to Hamilton on 26 lap old mediums? That's the critical information. If Verstappen's much quicker, then they have to pit the Mercs now. But then what do you put on it though? Do you put a set of hards on? Difficult. I think Mercedes have got to try and stretch out this stint. They've got to make it pay dividends. What a pit stop. Yeah, 2.5 seconds. About as good as it gets. I think the fastest is about 2.2. You don't get sub 2 second stops anymore. As Perez all over the back of Charles Leclerc. Is he going to try it into turn 14? No. He'll have to get him down the pit straight, will Sergio Perez. So it's Perez versus Leclerc for P5. Obviously, Perez has had a pit stop, whereas Leclerc's not been in yet. But Perez now at his home race in the slipstream of the Ferrari. Here we go then. He's going to take it easily, surely. Down the inside he goes then. And Perez up to P5. Listen to the crowd. Unbelievable support for Perez. It's mad. It's the most support I've seen for any driver at any race. And Perez up to P5 then. But yeah, once he didn't have to make a risky move into like turn 13 or anything. He just lined it up on the pit straight and got the job done. So Perez up to 5th. So it's Mercedes 1-2 at the minute, but they're yet to stop. Verstappen 13.5. Oh, Verstappen's rapid, man. Verstappen quick on these fresh set of mediums. I have to see how all this pans out. This is a game of chess, this. This is a game of chess at 200 mile an hour, this. It's Hamilton leading Russell by 5.5 seconds. It's Verstappen in third. But he's catching him so quick. Verstappen complaining about the gearbox, saying the shifts are slow. Verstappen's so quick that Mercedes have got to extend this stint and then put softs on at the end. Surely that's the only hope. Medium, one-stop strategy. Yeah, but what are they going to do? They can't put hards on, surely. They've got to keep going and then put softs on at the end, surely. Yes, Sean, how we doing, bro? Welcome to the stream. Oh, someone sling that. But yeah, welcome in, Sean. Close race. It is. It's a bit of a chess one, but it's just going to be very close between Red Bull and Mercedes. This Lewis is well within a shout of winning this. If they get everything absolutely perfect in terms of strategy, and he gets those tyres much further, puts a set of softs on at the end, he might have to overtake Max on track, but it might be possible. It might be doable. Hammer time, baby. It's hammer time, baby. Number 3 bot gone. Oh, there's always one or two knocking about. I know it's gone mad recently with them. I've seen a lot in Denver streams and all that as well. They're flipping gone mad, these bots. But Charles Leclerc pits them for Ferrari from 6th. But not Ferrari's day. For some reason, you know, this is the worst pace I've seen from Ferrari all season. They're staring down the barrel of a P5 and 6 finish at best. As Sergio Perez now closes up on the back of Carlos Sainz, who's yet to stop. He's on those old soft tyres now, is Carlos Sainz, really struggling with that rear end dancing on the exit of turn 6. Perez closing in on the Spaniard. Box. So Hamilton and Mercedes are pitting now. I feel like they haven't gone far enough. Hamilton's in the pits from the lead then on lap 30 of 71. So he's not got to half race distance. They're going to have to put the hard tyres on. No, it's not. It's hard tyres, Martin. It's hard tyres, Martin. He's got it wrong in the commentary box. He's not gone medium. He's gone medium hard. Oh, I don't fancy it now. I tell you something. It's advantage Red Bull again. I think it is a hard compound tyre on Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes, as Ferrari fumbling around with the front right. Carlos Sainz didn't have the smoothest pit stop in the world there. 3.5. Yeah, so Hamilton's definitely going to the end. But surely Red Bull are as well, are they not? Snowden's in the pitch. Russell Team Radio then. Yeah, Russell in the lead and saying that the tyres feel good. Oh, there's 3 different strategies going on here at least. This is like... Oh, yeah, look at him fumbling around with the front right tyre on that Ferrari in the pit stop. It wasn't the best, that. Oh, Jesus. They got it on. And Sainz back out there on circuit. But we've got 3 different strategies going on here for the win, which is unusual. We've got Verstappen and Perez going soft, medium. Are they going to try and go to the end on that, or will they have to stop again, is the question. Then you've got Hamilton, who's definitely on a one stop, who's got medium hard. So Hamilton's definitely on a one stop, with Perez catching him. Oh, I tell you what, Lewis is on a long game here. If Lewis is going to win this, he's on a long game. I don't think it's going to work. Oh, Leclerc's nearly spun. Oh, that's so close. Turn 8, too much curb. Rides the full middle of the car over the entire curb and just toboggans round. Oh, mate, you could easily spin there. I'm surprised no one has spun taking too much curb there in turn 8. I'm surprised that's not already happened. That's So risky there, putting the entire car over the curb and just sliding round the corner. Just rolling the dice every time. Let's put soft at the end. Oh, Russell wants the A strategy. Russell wants to go medium to like lap 50 or lap 45. Here's George's best roll of the dice. He wants to go medium to lap 45, 50 and then whack a set of softs on it at the end. Yeah, if I'm George, I'd be asking for that as well. That might be A1 strategy, that. Miss you. Oh yeah, you've been on a Call of Duty one. Are you fucking top prestige at every gun gold or what? You must be by now, innit? You're 3 days in, Sean. You must have unlocked it all by now. Come on, you speed up a bit, lad. Nah, I bet you've got every flipping... It's gold guns galore in it on CMZY. Including knife. Including knife. What, throwing knife? You're mad. Like that across the map. Do you remember them trick shots? Chucking the knife over the entire map. It's someone on the edge 2 miles away. Yeah. Javelin throw. Are you on one of them, are you? Yeah. That's normal, innit? Yeah. You live in Reading. You know what I mean? You're experienced. Right, anyway, back to what's happening on circuit. It's Fernando Alonso. Team radio. He's still out there, P5. Oh, look at this. Perez closing on Hamilton. Riot shield nearly gold. What? So, lap 33, it's Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez. But Russell's not pitted yet. He's 9.5 second lead. I tell you what, George is in a decent position because Max is closing in, but not at an incredible rate. The thing is, how far can George go is the big thing. If George can get to like lap 45... If George can get to lap 45 and whack a set of softs on it, then he's going to be rapid. He might have to overtake 2 or 3 cars to win the race, but George could be on a quick final stint. On a break, yeah, man, you got to have your brakes or else you'll drop dead, innit? I know you've been doing like 12-hour streams and like every time I've been on YouTube, it's like you're live, do you know, over the last 2 or 3 days, man. I've been like popping in and out, having a look what's going on, having a little nosy every now and then. I'm like, yeah, he's still going. Check up on you. Still going, lad. Perez with the fastest lap as well then, and closing in on Lewis. We're on the front wing of the Mexican. So it's Russell by 8.5 seconds over Verstappen. Then Hamilton 6.5 behind Max. And Perez under 2 seconds behind the Mercedes now as Esteban Ocon pits from P7. Still going. One breaker street. You're a machine. You're a COD machine. As Ocon comes back out of the pits. What, P13? Alonso, Bottas still out there, not stopped yet. Alonso 5th, Bottas 6th, and Russell still. And Russell pits now then on lap 34. Oh, I don't think he can go soft from there. Oh, I don't know. He's in no man's land in terms of strategy there, George Russell. What are they going to put on it? He's gone hard. It's not worth it. It's not really, I don't know, 2.7 second stop from George Russell, and he's on the hard tyres, so it's definitely a one-stop strategy, but he's not got his own way. He wanted to go long on the mediums and then go soft tyre at the end, but nope. The team have told him, forget it, mate. We pit you now. set of hard tyres on, and he's going to the end, so he's halfway through the race. Yeah, this is it. The big thing about this race now is, will our Red Bull on a two-stop strategy is the big thing. Right, okay, so what are they telling Max we can go on another set of softs at the end? So they're just talking with Max on the team radio, talking about the soft tyre being good. So this is the big thing. Yeah, this is the big thing about this race is Red Bull are going to have to stop again, aren't they? Or are they going to try and stretch it all the way to the end? I don't see it. I don't see it. Whereas Hamilton and Russell are definitely on a one stop. They've done their pit stop. That is it. Hamilton and Russell are going to the end. So they better be quick. If I tell you what, if Red Bull are going to win this race, they've got to be quick now. Perez has got to rock up to the back of Lewis, pass him, and clear him by 20 seconds. I tell you what, it's going to be close. But the thing is, oh mate, Red Bull are going to have to pass the Mercedes to win this, because what's going to happen is Perez has got to pass him now. Perez has got to pass Hamilton now, pull away from him by a decent amount gap, then pit, get the softs on for the last third of the race, catch him back up again and pass him again. It's crazy settings, but that's the way they're going to have to do it. They can't go to the end from here. So it's about the Mercedes pace on this hard tyre versus the Red Bull pace right now. How much slower is Hamilton than Verstappen right now is critical. The gap's 7.6. If Hamilton's quick enough in this part of the race, he's got it on a plate. Because you see, Red Bull have got to be quick now. Red Bull have got it. If they want to win it, they've got to be quick now. They've got to be much quicker than the Mercedes. It's mad, bro. Ricardo Team Radio. Yeah, soft tyre is the way to go, man. They're just telling Ricardo on the team radio, Vettel's still out there on the soft on lap 37. Right. Oh, it's going to be interesting, this. As Perez cruising up to the back of Lewis Hamilton now. Oh, this is going to be... The crowd is going to be on its feet now as the Mexican closes in on the 7-time world champion for P2 in the race. The thing is, Perez is going to have to stop again and re-catch him up. Verstappen's going to have to stop. That'll put him 10 seconds behind Hamilton, but he'll be on fresh mediums. Put it this way, Verstappen is going to have to pass Hamilton to win. Just like in Austin. Yeah, that's basically what this is going to boil down to. Verstappen's going to have to pass Hamilton later on in the race at the end, in the last 10 laps, last 10-15 laps, to win the race. So if Lewis can be quick now, the battle of the strategies. Faran, welcome to the stream, mate. Perez is going to pass him. Close race. What are you saying? Max, Lewis, Perez, George. I can see Mercedes getting a 1-2, Red Bull are going to have to be rapid. The thing is, for Verstappen to win this, he's got to be quick now, and he's got to be rapid when they put the soft tyres on at the end. But he probably will be. So at the end of the race, the last 15 laps of this race is going to be Verstappen on brand new soft tyres versus Hamilton on 30 lap old hards. So, you know, Verstappen might close in on him by like a second a lap, and then it's GG's, you know, it's another race in the bag. But Mercedes have got a good chance, put it that way. Mercedes have got a good chance here, without a doubt. Oh, Mercedes won too, so do I, man. No, you know, Red Bull have won the championship, now let someone else have a go. As Alonso's still out there in P5, but Sainz in the Ferrari catching up to the back of him now. Replay on board Carlos Sainz as he passes Valtteri Bottas, I assume. Yeah, Sainz up to P6, down into turn 1 with DRS, slipstream and everything else. But Ferrari won't be challenging for a podium today unless something crazy happens out front. Ferrari looking at 5th and 6th at best. And Vettel is in the pits. So Vettel going soft medium. Yeah, that's A1 strategy, that's soft medium. 30, yeah, Vettel's done 39 laps on the soft tyre. That's incredible. And just finally does pit now and goes down to 16th. Magnussen's in the pits as well, there at the back. So it's Verstappen who leads Hamilton by 8.5 seconds, but who will stop again. Hamilton won't. It's then Perez P3 who will stop again. Russell won't in P4. So it's a big game of chess out here in Mexico. We've got Alonso P5 still out there and about to be passed by Sainz in the Ferrari, sorry. Sainz all over the back of Fernando Alonso's Alpine now as they exit turn 3. Is he going to get the DRS going down to turn 4? He's going to get DRS slipstream. Is Alonso going to defend it? Doesn't. It's Sainz down the inside of Alonso, then turn 4 and Sainz up into P5. Alonso on these old medium tyres that has been on the car since the beginning. Alonso yet to pit, now down to P6. We'll see. We'll rally. I hope we get. It's going to be close. I mean, the gap's 9 seconds now, so Verstappen is pulling away from Hamilton, but if he pits now, he'll be behind him by 10 seconds, but there'll be enough laps to get him back. But Verstappen's going to have to pass Lewis to win, basically, which sounds tasty to me, put it that way. He's going to have to do it on track. How easy that's going to be remains to be seen, but he's going to have to pass him on track. Alonso now pits. Oh, you're joking. Both Mercedes. Oh, it might end up where the Mercedes go on the softs then. Oh, it's flipping pointless then. If Mercedes stop again, it's a fail. It's a fail. It's a failure. It's not good. You know, you complain about the hard tyres, but you've made your bed, now you've got to lie in it. You're going to take them to the end. You know, you can't be on the hard tyres on an alternate strategy and then go, no, we'll whack this set of softs on at the end anyway, just like Red Bull. What's the point? You're giving away the advantage that you've got. And Ocon goes round the outside of Valtteri Bottas in turn 1. What a move that was. Bottas is got the better exit though. He's side by side into turn 4. But Esteban Ocon, what a move. And if Ocon didn't have DRS down to turn 4, Bottas would have got that back. Great racing between the Alpine and the Alfa Romeo. Whoa, Bottas feeling aggressive. Darting all over the circuit into turn 6. But Ocon got the car to stick and has made up the position. So Ocon moves into P10 then with an audacious, mad move round the outside into turn 1. What a move. Move of the race. Valtteri tried this switchback, but the thing is, Ocon had the advantage of DRS up to turn 4, so you're sort of a disadvantage because you're the one that's behind and he's got DRS in front. Nightmare. Russell team Ray. Oh my god. Well, what do you want to do, George? George not happy with the tyre? Yeah. Oh my god. Both Mercedes complaining about the medium tyre. Bro, you've made your bed. Mercedes... So they're going to do all this, they're going to go on an alternate strategy and then put the soft tyre on at the end anyway, just like Red Bull. What's the point? You might as well give them the win now if you're going to pit again. If Mercedes pit again, it's Red Bull 1-2, Mercedes 3-4, and it's game over. You've got to just stay out there and grin and bear it. It's the only chance. Even if it's an outside chance, it's the only chance. Or what are you going to do? Pit now, be 10 seconds behind Verstappen, and as if you're going to close Verstappen up by 10 seconds on the same tyre, on the same strategy. Nah, you're giving him the win. You're giving him an easy win if you stop again, Lewis. You've got to just stay out, man. You're just marathon it. Think of the long game. Let Red Bull do the sprinting. You marathon it and see what happens. Oh, the thing is, these guys in the garage now, they're thinking, right, plan B, plan C, plan D. What are we doing? You can't, can you? You're giving away the whole point of it. Yeah. Bottas fancies the position back off Esteban Ocon here. Bottas right behind the Alpine, turn 6. We're on lap 44 of 71, so we're already way past halfway. It's Verstappen who leads Hamilton by 9.5 seconds. Perez 1.6 behind Hamilton in third. Russell's P4, 7 seconds behind Sergio Perez. Then come the two Ferraris who've been dropped. They've been in no man's land, the two Ferraris. They're 5th and 6th. Sainz some 25 seconds behind Russell. Leclerc 3.5 seconds behind Sainz. Then comes Daniel Ricciardo, P7. I don't know what kind of strategy he's on, but it's working at the moment. Albeit it's a full 20 seconds behind the Ferrari pair. But P7 is the highest he's been for a long time. Alonso is P8 after his long initial stint. We've got Zhou Guanyu up there, P9. Obviously, Alfa Romeo could do with some points. Only scored 1 point since Canada of Alfa Romeo. So Zhou Guanyu up in P9 is doing a great job at the minute. And Valtteri Bottas looking aggressive. And this is becoming a three-way fight for P9. We've got Zhou, Ocon, Bottas, nose to tail, lap 45. And, Ocon might have gone round the outside of Valtteri, but it's not put him off. He's still going for it. And then we've got Norris down there in P12. He's not had a great day so far, has he? Lando Norris started 12th, started 7th, down in 12th is the Brit, Lando Norris. Yuki Tsunoda, 13th for AlphaTauri. Not really seen anything of him. Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin. It's not been their weekend, has it? He's down in 14th. Alexander Albon on the soft tyre in 15th. Gasly 16th. So AlphaTauri 13th and 16th. They ain't getting any points today, by the looks of things. Mick Schumacher, who desperately needs points, down in 17th. Then Stroll, Magnussen and Latifi last. But we're on board Zhou Guanyu then in P8. And the battle, here we go then, as Ricciardo pits. And this is a three-way fight for P7. Here comes Bottas versus Ocon. Did Zhou Guanyu just get out of the way there? Did Zhou Guanyu just fully move out of the way then? I don't understand. Here's a replay, right? So it's Zhou, Ocon, Bottas. Ocon gets the slipstream and the move. Zhou just moves out of the way. Why do that? I mean, I guess the idea is he was so he was going to be passed by Ocon anyway. Then next up is Bottas, so he's just like, oh, I'll let him through as well. Great racing, isn't it, when someone just moves out of the way? He's pitting, that's why. Because he was pitting the following lap. So Zhou Guanyu in the pits. It's still Ocon v Bottas for P8. They've had a few laps nose to tail. Go on then, Valtteri, get it back. He's got DRS now heading up to turn 4. Has a look but doesn't go for it. Has a look but doesn't go for it, lad. Go on. Go on, stick your nose into turn 6, lad. Dive bomb up the inside. No, Bottas can't be too silly. He's in P9 at the moment. He's on for 2 points, which is 2 more points than he's got since the beginning of June. So the Mercs haven't blinked yet then. So the Mercs, despite the team radio messages from Hamilton and Russell saying, we don't like this tyre, they've not panicked and pitted yet. The idea is that they go to the end, but the more I hear the team radio and the concerned faces in the McLaren, in the Mercedes garage, the more I think, I don't know about this. I don't know how this is all going to play out. The gap between Verstappen and Hamilton at the front is 10 seconds then. Perez 1 point. I tell you what, the gap's... The gap between Hamilton and Perez is just... It's been the same for the last... let me close that. It's been the same for the last like 10 laps or so. I don't know what that is on this. Yeah, so it's Ocon v Bottas for P8 and Max Verstappen, the race leader, coming up behind him to lap him. He's yeah, it's not the easiest scenario to be in. Let me get rid of that. There we go. The hards are not working. Well, they're complaining, aren't they? The drivers are complaining, but I think they're working to a certain extent. I think they're doing... It's not been a disaster, it's just not been great. I think they're doing all right. Well, this is it. This is it. So do Red Bull just go all in and try and get to the end now? Maybe they do. Maybe Red Bull just think, well, sod the soft tyres. Let's just squeeze it all the way to the finish. Can the Red Bulls go another 22 laps on these mediums? That would be like, what, 50 laps on the mediums? Well, Vettel did 38 laps on the soft, so it's not impossible. You know, is Lewis really going to catch Verstappen if Verstappen's tyres fall off in these last 20 laps? It's all about strategy today, this. Oh, Lewis is complaining about his engine, saying he's having dropouts in power. That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. Is he on an old engine or what? You know, it's round 20 of 22. He's probably, the engine that's in the back of that Merc has probably done a lot of mileage. Who knows? Wow. Hamilton will go above Sainz in the championship if that finishes now. It's crazy. Lewis is doing well with him. Russell, yeah. Do you think Russell has to come in again? Yeah, they're summing it up perfectly. David Croft has summed it up perfectly. It's a race where we're waiting for things to happen. Not ideal. It's not as good as the Austin Grand Prix last week. Unless we get some mad last 20 laps. It's no, it's been a game of chess today. It's not been wheel to wheel fighting for the lead. It's been like 50 of 71. It all boils down to, will Red Bull stop again? Mercedes shouldn't stop again. They're on the hard tyres. They've got full capability to go to the end on those tyres. But it's whether Verstappen fancies doing another 20 laps, whether Verstappen and Perez fancy doing another 20 laps on these medium tyres. Can they keep them in? Can they keep them with decent performance, as we see Yuki Tsunoda defending from Daniel Ricciardo into turn 1, and Ricciardo right behind the AlphaTauri, turn 2, turn 3 gets a switchback. Now will Ricciardo pass Tsunoda up to turn 4? DRS, slipstream, Tsunoda's on the inside, he's going to defend that inside. Ricciardo's going to have to go around the outside of turn 4, doesn't, so Tsunoda holds on to the position. This is a fight for 11th place. Is Ricciardo going to dive bomb it turn 6? He is. He's getting his nose in. Don't turn in. Oh, they crashed. Oh, Ricciardo and Tsunoda crash in turn 6. Oh, mate. It's just a day late and $1 short for Daniel Ricciardo to put his nose in there. Tsunoda can carry on. He's got damaged floor, but carries on, does Yuki Tsunoda, and Ricciardo into the side of Tsunoda. Tsunoda should have been a bit more aware and give him space. Ricciardo was a bit rude, putting his front nose in there. And is Tsunoda going to have to retire from the race? It looks like he's got side pod damage. He's definitely got floor damage. Will he be able to continue with that? Probably not. Probably be the end of the race for Yuki Tsunoda. He is going to get back to the pits at least. Damn. Well, nothing's happened, Danto, but it has now. Bit of contact there. Yeah, Mrs. Holton. Welcome in, Mrs. Holton. Come on, Lewis. I know. Come on, Lewis. As the laps tick by, it's looking a little bit less and a little bit less likely as the laps tick on. I feel like Red Bull might try and go to the end, in which case Lewis has got to close up a 10-second gap on Verstappen to win. Okay, they're going to change the tyres and front wing on Yuki Tsunoda's car. Is he going to carry on? Nah, look, he's got a hole in the side pod. Nah, I think you got to retire it, don't you? Yeah, nah, yeah. It's Yuki Tsunoda is the first and only, so far, retirement of the Mexico City Grand Prix. We see a replay then. So it's Ricciardo with a... I mean, it is the first retirement. I don't know about that, man. To me, it's six of one, half a dozen of the other. This, right? I think they both could do better than they do. So, Ricciardo. No, I don't know about Ricciardo. I think it's a bit too bold from Ricciardo. That I think it's a bit too. Yeah, I think the blame is more on Ricciardo there for sending his nose in where it doesn't really belong. The only thing I can say about Yuki that might be Yuki's fault in that scenario is he should have had a look in his mirrors and seen the front of that McLaren having a look and gone, I tell you what, I'll just give him a bit of space, and he could have avoided the whole incident, and then he would have had he'd have been on the outside at turn 6, but he'd have had the inside line for turn 7. If that's me and I'm in Tsunoda's position, I'd probably have a look in the mirror. I'd probably think he fancies to look down the inside. I'd probably give him the space, because side by side into turn 6, absolutely fine, because side by side into turn 7, but you've got the inside line, you'll beat him anyway. So I don't know about Yuki just being completely oblivious to that and just turning in, but Ricciardo shouldn't have really gone for that. It's more Ricciardo's fault. Hamilton, come on. Yeah. I'd love to see it, Farhan. I'd love to see it, but I'm not sure. It's possible. It's possible, this. It's whether Red Bull are going to stay out. It's a big thing. I can't see them pitting now, will they? I mean, we're on lap 54 of 71, so with what, 16, 17 laps to go. You know, with 16, 17 laps to go, right? Surely, if Red Bull are going to pit, they've got to pit. They've got to pit soon. They've got to pit soon if they're going to pit. Get a set of softs on now, and then you've got 16 laps to catch back up and overtake. It's Gasly versus Vettel in turn 4. Nice move from Pierre Gasly. Vettel trying the switchback. Oh, they're going to go side by side down to turn 6. Is it going to be 3 wide? Zhou Guanyu fancies a look as well. Oh, don't crash. And see, Vettel leaves just about enough room and keeps the position. Vettel didn't know whether to attack or defend there, and it's a 3-way fight for P14. Let's go. No, sorry. Incorrect information. A 3-way fight for P13. Much more important. As here comes Zhou Guanyu then on Sebastian Vettel into turn 13. Vettel on a defensive and keeps the place. Schumacher, oh dear. Less said the better, Farron. The less said the better. I was saying before, I'm going to have to be an Albon fan next season. Yeah, I always fancy an underdog anyway, but I don't think Mick's going to be here to support next year. Unfortunately. So I might be an Alexander Albon fan. I might be stood here with a Williams cap next season. You know how it is. You can't support someone that doesn't exist anymore. I might have to move my allegiance, or otherwise watch whatever series Mick goes into. I don't know, but it's a tough one. It's a tough one. He's in desperate need of points, and he's down there in 17th. As Zhou Guanyu and Sebastian Vettel go side by side for 14th into turn 4. Hey, this race has come alive for the midfield battles now. It's gloves off with 15 laps to go. Probably support Piastri. Yeah, Piastri's a shout, actually. Yeah, Piastri, man. Oh, that's a shout, you know. But McLaren, I've never been a fan of McLaren, though. I feel like, I don't know, people love McLaren, don't they? McLaren have, like, hardcore support, don't they? But McLaren, Piastri. If Piastri was going to be driving for, like, Alpine, I'd have fully backed that. Yeah, I'd have been like, yeah, Piastri. Or maybe go Gasly at Alpine, fan. Yeah, maybe Gasly at Alpine. Maybe I'll rep that. Gasly at Alpine. I fancy being a fan of that, actually. Yeah, Gasly at Alpine. Yeah, we'll go for that. And Albon. You never know, Mick could keep the seat. There's always a chance. But it's going to be Zhou Guanyu versus Vettel again. He's got the DRS, but not close enough. Oh, Verstappen's pulling away from Lewis on older tyres. Oh my God, Perez is right behind Hamilton now for P2. We're looking at a possibility of a Red Bull 1-2 after all of this. This is not... So, Red Bull have managed to do it. Red Bull have managed to get to the end on a set of mediums. They managed to take a set of mediums like 50 odd laps. Well, that's what's looking like is going to happen here. Every man and his dog thought Red Bull were on a two-stop strategy, but they might be about to get the medium tyres for 50 laps and put everyone in the bin. In fact, Verstappen is quicker on a 30-year-old set of mediums than Hamilton is on a 10-lap-old set of hards. Verstappen unstoppable again. This is what we asked you. Oh, this is crazy, dude. And if Max wins, it'll be 14th win of the season. The battle really is for P2. The battle's for P2. Hamilton and Perez, 1.5 seconds separate them. And Perez at home, good grief, it's going to be, you know. Yeah, we're looking down the barrel of a Red Bull 1-2 if Perez can get the move done in the last 13, 14 laps or so. Russell 5.2. Is Russell catching the pair of them? Russell 5.2 behind Perez. It'd be interesting to see that gap. Maybe Russell's catching Hamilton and Perez. Sainz 30 seconds behind Russell. It's not been Ferrari's track, this. Ferrari 5th and 6th. Alpine now 7th and 8th. Alonso from Ocon. As we see Bottas v Ricciardo. Ricciardo going to P9. DRS move round the outside before they even hit the braking for turn 1. Daniel Ricciardo's having a good race. Yeah, Daniel Ricciardo is having a good day. And fair play to him because he's had a lot of criticism. And he's doing nicely as Daniel Ricciardo today, up to 9th. So you've got Alpine 7th and 8th, then Ricciardo 9th for McLaren. Bottas now in P10. Norris 11th, Albon P12. Then it's Gasly, Zhou, Vettel, Stroll, Schumacher, Magnussen, Latifi, with the only retirement being Yuki Tsunoda. So Daniel Ricciardo took Tsunoda out of the race and then thought, I tell you what, let's go. Hamilton Team Radio. I don't know, man. They're trying to G Hamilton up as if he's got a chance, but the gap's opening. The thing is, Lewis isn't even closing in. It's 12.5 seconds, the gap. Mad settings, man. I tell you what, this battle for P14 between Zhou Guanyu and Sebastian Vettel is the highlight of the race. Because it's been a game of chess, this race, and a game of chess that Red Bull are going to win. Yeah. 12.5 seconds is the gap between Verstappen and Hamilton. And he's opening the gap. He's pulling away. It's... The battle is between Hamilton and Perez for P2 is what this is. Russell, I don't think, is doing a lot in P4. He's keeping it a stalemate. 5.4 is the gap. So it's about Perez v Hamilton for second. 1.9. Lewis pulling away. Well, mind you, they've just had to overtake traffic, so 11 laps to go. Team Radio, George Russell. It doesn't matter, George. George is on the team radio saying, I'm still not happy with this tyre. What do you want to do? Go on the softs? Ricciardo hunting down Ocon. Yeah, 1.2 is the gap. Ricciardo fancies a handful of points here. Yeah, Ricciardo P9 closing on Ocon. Now, yeah, Daniel took Tsunoda out of the race there. I wish Tsunoda had seen him coming though and gave him the space, but still, it is Ricciardo's fault. Yeah, gap's 13.2. He's opening up. He's as if Red Bull have done a one-stop doing 50 laps on their mediums. Yeah, they're going to go to the end, yeah. And Lewis gets it in one. The medium looks quick. They're going to go to the end. Absolute nightmare for Mercedes, that. Red Bull putting a one-stop is an absolute strategic masterclass. And Ricciardo all over the back of Esteban Ocon now on lap 61. Definitely too late to switch, man. Definite. Can't switch strategy now. It doesn't matter. George is only a free pit stop. Yeah, I mean, George could just pit anyway. Bang a set of softs on. But yeah. What, for fastest lap? Keep your P4 and get fastest lap. Meh. But yeah, Daniel's on the warpath then. Half a second behind Esteban Ocon. He's on the soft tyre. A little bit of fuel saving there into turn 13, I think. A little bit of lift and coast. What? Alonso not happy on the radio there, and hence probably why he's moving to Aston Martin. He's not happy with Alpine at all, mate. He's not happy with Alpine one bit. He's there in P9. As now Daniel Ricciardo down the inside of Esteban Ocon. This is a fight for 7th. And Ricciardo takes it. P7. Daniel Ricciardo's on 4. Best race since his home race, round 3 probably. He had a good finish at Singapore, didn't he? I think it was like 6th at Singapore, but a refreshingly decent race from Daniel Ricciardo. Come on, Max, crash. If he crashes now, oh, it's pandemonium. Yeah, if he spins off now, oh, drama. Oh, the drama of it. I'd love it. Just for the drama, not because I'm anti-Verstappen, just for the fact of entertainment's sake. But no, Max has got this locked down again. Again and again and again, every week. And every race. He's on for his 14th win in 20 races. What can you do? And look at this. So the gap then between Hamilton and Perez is all of a sudden 4 seconds. So Perez has fallen off the cliff. 3.9. Perez has fallen off the absolute cliff then. Perez has lost 2 seconds to Hamilton in the last couple of laps. As Daniel Ricciardo with a full opposite lock. Wow. Daniel Ricciardo on the full attack. Drifting round turn 8. Let's go. Lando Norris has had an anonymous day. We're on board with Lando P11. He's had a bit of a nothing race. Down from 7th to 11th. But closing in on the back of Valtteri Bottas with 8 laps to go. Albon's doing a good job in P12 in the Williams, by the way. Yeah. A lot better than Nicholas Latifi, who's 19th and 48 seconds behind Magnussen. What the hell? Why is Latifi so... How is Latifi 19th and 48 seconds behind 18th? That's ridiculously bad. That's like 2 seconds a lap slower than ridiculously slow. Put me in the car, I'll give Latifi a race. No, I'm joking, I won't have a chance. As Latifi pulls off to the side to let his teammate go. Oi. Albon's just lapped Latifi. They're in the same car, bro. Albon's just lapped Nicholas Latifi. This is Latifi's worst race ever. He's 52 seconds behind the next man. He's nearly lapped by the entire field. This is Latifi's worst race ever. He's just been lapped by Albon in the same car. It's taken Albon 65 laps. It's more than a... It's ridiculous. What a joke, man. I have never seen anything like it. I miss the days of UGE Day, or what was that guy? But this is pretty grim. As Norris fancies a point then, going up the inside of Valtteri Bottas down to turn 1, and Norris takes P10 as Alonso just decides to retire the car. Alonso's out. Alonso's out of the race, lap 65 of 71. Now, what are they going to do? Are they going to throw safety car? He's way off the racing line. I don't think they'll throw a safety car for this. He's well off the circuit and has virtual safety car. Okay, virtual safety car. Yeah, an actual safety car would have been wild, but I don't think it's going to be. It's VSC, and Alonso out of the race. And he's absolutely fuming. Alonso is absolutely fuming. And the gap at the front is 17.4 seconds. As the fans cheer Alonso, he respects it, even if he is absolutely gutted. Alonso becomes the second retirement then of the... and they're wheeling that car out of the way rapid. Yeah, they're going to get this race underway pretty soon. Okay. It's not going to be safety car or anything like that. They're going to be green flags any second now, I would imagine. Well, yeah, look at that. Has he blown up the engine? Mechanical failure. Yeah, you can actually see the sparks coming out of the back of the engine cover. And yeah, Alpine again. Just like SHT used to say, you know, or has said this season about the reliability for Alpine being awful. Latifi ain't last. Oh, he is well and truly last. I mean, if you're counting the people that are out of the race, yeah, he ain't last. But the thing is, Chris, not only is he last, he is last by a hell of a margin. He's last by an entire lap. Now that's a different kind of last. That's in a different realm of last. That's last with no hope. We're seeing the battle between Bottas and Norris into turn 1. Great little fight that is for, I think that's P7. He's having a Sunday drive, yeah, he's chilling out, he's switched off. He's got the radio on, he's kicking back, he's thinking, nice day in Mexico, innit? It's crazy, man. It's 52 seconds behind Magnussen in 17. Anyway, forget about Latifi. He's lapped 67 out of 71. And Max Verstappen's pulled a worldie. Yeah, so gap is 14.2. GG's. Perez 4.2 behind Hamilton, so And Russell 5.3 behind Perez. So it looks like the top four's pretty much set with 4 laps to go. Then, like I say, it's not been Ferrari's day. They sit 5th and 6th. A full 30 seconds between Russell and Sainz. Then Daniel Ricciardo, who's had a great race. Not often I've said that this season, but Daniel Ricciardo looking to come home with P7. Ocon 8th, Norris 9th, and Bottas looking for a point in P10. Albon just outside the points now in P11 with the Alonso retirement. Albon P11 in the Williams, only 2 seconds behind Bottas. And then Gasly within a second of Albon. So is this a 3-way fight now for a point between Bottas, Albon, Gasly? I think it is. Yeah, top 4's done, innit? He's listening to ABBA, yeah. Nah, he's listening to Lionel Richie. That's why I'm easy. Is that Lionel Richie, that? Easy like Sunday morning. Yeah. He's just chilling, bro. For 52 seconds off the pace. But yeah, no, it's Pierre Gasly looking at Alexander Albon for 11th. Yeah. This is the main thing to bring out of this race. The battle between McLaren and Alpine is even closer. Yeah, because Ricciardo 7th and Norris 9th, they're going to get what? Somewhere around the region of 10 points. And then Ocon's going to get like 6. Mate, they're going to be like neck and neck with 2 races to go. McLaren and Alpine. It's going to the wire, that battle. And there's a lot of prize money in that. You know, it's not just for the hell of it. There's a hell of a lot of prize money difference between finishing 4th and 5th. I don't know exact figures, but it's worth fighting over. Put it that way. It's worth fighting over. As Gasly all over the back of Albon then as he come round the final corner. Yeah, it is, yeah. Lionel Richie one. Here we go. It's Pierre Gasly then in the slipstream with DRS. This is for 11th. Oh, Albon defends it down the inside and Gasly just fancies it round the outside then down the straight before they even get to the braking zone. Pierre Gasly's DRS too powerful, and Gasly up to 11th then. Can he catch Bottas and get a point out of this Grand Prix? Oh, it's going to be close, you know. Lap 69 or 71. Yeah, the battle for the final point. Cut to Sergio Perez, P3. Same result he got last year as well. He got 3rd last year, which they will, the Mexican fans will enjoy. They would have much preferred him winning the race, but P3. Yeah, it's been good from Perez, but not brilliant. Yeah, 18 seconds behind his teammates are just saying that. Yeah, Max is pretty much unbeatable. Russell Pitts. Well, he's obviously going for fastest lap then is George Russell. Russell pits and puts a brand new set of soft tyres on it. Well, no, I think it's a scrub set of soft tyres. But yeah, Russell going for fastest lap then. He'll stay P4. Such is the gap to Sainz. You know, the gap between Russell and Sainz was that big that Russell can take a pit stop and not lose a position. So you might as well get an extra point for the fastest lap. And that's what they're going for on the... it's not worked for Mercedes. There was a part in the middle of the race where I was thinking, ooh, you know, could it be Mercedes' day? But yet again, Max has pulled it out of the bag, going 50 laps on the mediums, as has Perez as well. They've done virtually 50 laps on the mediums. And it's a strategy masterclass from Red Bull. Feigning a 2-stop strategy and doing a 1-stop strategy. They've full duped everybody. What's the gap between Hamilton and Perez? It's closing. It's 3.5. This is the final lap of the race, though. Final lap of the 2022 Mexico City Grand Prix. Verstappen, who has led it from the off. Same top three as last year. Is it? Yeah. But Verstappen then through the middle sector for the final time, heading towards the stadium section on the final lap, turn 13. And we'll take the adoration of the crowd today. He's beaten Sergio Perez fair and square. He's beaten Lewis Hamilton fair and square. He's had he's pulled out of madness, and it's Max Verstappen who rounds the final corner and wins for the 14th time this season. Max Verstappen breaks the record for most wins in a season. 14 wins in 20 races it is for Max Verstappen. He's looked unstoppable again today, as he has nearly every single week this year. Hamilton beaten by 15 seconds in the end to P2. And it is Sergio Perez in the other Red Bull that takes third place and at least a place on the podium for the Mexican driver at home, with 300,000 people cheering him on. George Russell will take P4. Carlos Sainz 5th. Charles Leclerc 6th. Daniel Ricciardo, who had a great drive, perhaps driver of the day, Daniel Ricciardo, in P7. Esteban Ocon P8, Lando Norris P9, and Valtteri Bottas does hold on for a point in P10, his first point since Canada, and Alfa Romeo just about clinging on to that P6 in Constructors. But the battle for P4 in Constructors is majorly on now, with Ricciardo and Norris both getting points, and it is Verstappen with his 14 wins in a single season. Incredible, and takes the record on that one. I mean, there is more races now than there used to be, but Max Verstappen has absolutely dominated. There we go. Fastest lap, I don't know actually. Probably George on his new set of softs, but I didn't quite catch that. Oh, Russell on soft for the time. Yeah, Russell on softs, I guess. Well, that wasn't a thriller, was it? Listen, some races are good, some races are bad, but some races are unbelievable races. Anyway, it is what it is. It can't all be absolute classics, can they? The one at Austin, Texas last week, I would give that a 9 out of 10. I'd give this a 3. I'd give it a 2. Atmosphere, fantastic. Actual race, hey, it wasn't the one, was it? That was a 1 hour. How long's the stream? 2 hours 13 minutes. So the race, I did half an hour. So the race has been an hour and 3/4 or whatever. Chess match. So get in. No, it was all right. When we had some battles in the midfield to shout about, but it was a game of chess that Red Bull won, and it is Max Verstappen for the 14th time to win this season. And Red Bull win again. Right, guys, that's about it. That is it. 3. Yeah, 3 plus. 3.5 out of 10. They can't all be absolute classics, can they? But thanks everyone for joining as Max Verstappen climbs out of the car and raises his hands aloft. Right, that's it, guys. Let me stick that on. 4 wins Max has got in this circuit as Perez climbs out of his Red Bull and to take P3. Right, guys, please do drop me a like on the video. It helps me out. I'll be back in 2 weeks' time, just under 2 weeks' time, for Brazil. And that should be a much better race than this. Brazil's always a cracker. Brazil's always a great race. So, yeah, join me in, like, I don't know, 12 days for Brazil. That's been Mexico. I've been the Motorsport Madman. Yeah, subscribe if you're into Formula 1. Yeah, I'll be back. And please do drop me a like. And see you next time, guys. Thank you. Russell Double Purple. Yeah. Right, see you guys. See you on the next one. Cheers for joining. And Verstappen wins again. Let someone else have a go. Let someone else have a go. He's won again. Unbelievable. See you next time. I called driver of the day again. I've called it Daniel Ricciardo. I said Vettel last time, and he was. I said Ricciardo this time, and he is. I'm on it. Cheers.